So, investment, as I was already talking to you about it, investment is basically an activity in which a person tries to park his funds in a manner that he gets maximum return. So, in this context, when we talk about investment opportunities and avenues, then we have, as you can see on the screen, at least five or six or even 10 options which an investor can choose from when he talks about investment opportunities. And as you can see on the screen, there is equity, there is debenture, there are bonds, there are non-marketable financial assets, there are money market instruments, real estate, precious objects, insurance policies, mutual funds, and pension funds. So all in all, an investor, and there are thousands of other options that a investor has in today's context or in today's circumstance to park his funds in. Now, as any normal investor, the basic idea behind investments is to get maximum returns. So let us now see how each of these investment avenues, or rather, what these investment avenues are, and what is the relationship between the return and risk for each of these particular investments. Of course, we have been discussing equity, we have been discussing bonds. We have been discussing debentures for a very, very long time in our financial management also. And I'm sure a lot of you are aware about what is equity, what is debenture, what is bond. A lot of you know about real estate. A lot of you know about precious objects. Precious objects can be gold, it can be jewelry, it can be antiques, it can be wine, it can be antique paintings, whatever precious objects. Then real estate can be your agricultural land, your residential homes, your suburban properties, whatever you have in the form of land, that comes in real estate. Then precious objects, mutual funds, all of us know about how they work, we know. Then pension funds, this is for primarily for government employees. They have an opportunity to invest their money in pension funds as well. Then all of you know that insurance policies are also very important investment opportunities, and especially LIC, because it gives us a tax shelter as well. Most of your parents must be investing their money in insurance policies, so you must be knowing a little bit about this. So let us take each and every investment avenue one by one and see how many we can cover in today's class. So the first one is equity. Equity. So equity stock or equity shares represent an ownership position, and the equity shareholders are the owners of the firm having a voting power. If you remember, while we were talking about financial management in our organization, then we had talked about how any business firm invites its shareholders or divides its ownership into small portions. If you remember, I had drawn a diagram in which there was a pie chart, and in that pie chart I had shown some divisions, and each division belonged to a particular shareholder. So I don't know how much of it will I be able to draw here, but let's try and draw this here. Suppose this is a company's share. So each and every shareholder has a small portion in that particular firm. This is one shareholder's share, then this is the second shareholder's share, then this is the third shareholder's share. So इस तरह से एक कंपनी का जो पूरा कैपिटल स्ट्रक्चर होता है वो अलग अलग पार्ट्स में डिवाइडेड होता है, जिसमें कि सारे पार्ट्स जो हैं वो ईच एंड एवरी शेयर होल्डर के होते हैं. अब शेयर होल्डर्स भी अपने आप में दो तरह के होते हैं, एक हमारा इक्विटी शेयर होल्डर और एक हमारा प्रेफरेंस शेयर होल्डर्स. दोनों के बीच में क्या डिफरेंस है? Equity shareholders are owners of the firm, and they are liable to receive the dividend or not receive the dividend depending upon the profit of a firm. Whereas preference shareholders are those who have no say in the ownership of the firm, but at the same time it is compulsory for the firms to return dividends to preference shareholders. So I will not go into that detail because that is very basic, and most of us have a fair idea about how things work as far as ordinary and preference shareholders go. So equity stock or equity shares is a very lucrative opportunity for the firms to invest their money in, because equity shares promise good returns. We all know that equity shares, even though they may have a high risk situation, but at the same time they promise good returns to the shareholders. Now they enable the investors the right to earnings of the firm, and also run the risk of receiving nothing if the earnings are insufficient. So this is just a revision of our earlier knowledge. We knew that investors are they have the right to invest their money, they have the right to the earnings of the firm, and we also know that if there is no proper profit of a firm, then maybe they will not get anything at all. This we know about ordinary shareholders. So इक्विटी शेयर होल्डर्स और ऑर्डिनरी शेयर होल्डर्स के पास दोनों ही ऑप्शंस रहते हैं कि वो फर्म में ओनरशिप क्लेम करना चाहते हैं कि डिविडेंड क्लेम करना चाहते हैं. अगर ओनरशिप है तो फिर आपको ऑर्डिनरी शेयर्स लेना है, और अगर आपको गारंटीड डिविडेंड्स चाहिए हैं तो फिर आपको प्रेफरेंस शेयर होल्डर के लिए या प्रेफरेंस शेयर्स के लिए ऑप्ट करना चाहिए. So this is the basic of equity or ordinary shareholders and preference shareholders. Okay. Now if we move ahead, then we come to debentures. Debentures are, a sort of an investment in which a regular return is provided to the shareholder, is provided to the debenture holders. And if a bank issues a debenture, for example, if State Bank of India issues a debenture and I go and purchase that debenture as a financial instrument, then over a period of time I will be able to get fixed interest. Fixed interest, that is the most important word here. I will get fixed interest or fixed returns after I have purchased a particular debenture. The most common form of debenture is non-convertible debenture, in which means that I cannot sell that if debenture again. I simply have to wait until the maturity, and then I will return it back to the bank. So it is a kind of a fixed income debt paper. If I had to very simply put it, then just think of debenture as being a piece of paper which is a form of a receipt. And what have I done? Suppose it is a 10,000 rupees debenture. So I went to State Bank of India. I purchased 10,000 rupees debenture. And now over a period of time, I will get that 10,000 rupees worth interest. Like for example, if the debenture is a 10% debenture or a 20% debenture, then I will keep on getting that amount over a fixed interval or over a fixed duration, so that I can so that my money is invested there, 10,000 rupees is invested there, and at the same time I am getting some regular stream of income, so that I can utilize in my own way. I can use it to purchase my household necessities. I can use to purchase it for anything at all. So at the end of the day I am getting a regular stream of income. So this is the concept of debenture. And the idea is that debentures are usually long term investments. They are usually a 5 to 15-year investment. And the most important aspect of debentures is that they have to be uh, you know they have to be proper credit rating debentures by proper credit rating agencies. Now what do credit rating agencies do? Credit rating agencies ensure that the debenture has no or very little possibilities of failing, or the bank or the particular company which has issued a debenture has very little risks of failing. You know that the work of a credit rating agency is to see whether the particular person or particular company is able to honor his or her loan, is able to honor his or her debt, is able to repay that loan on time, is able to pay the interest on time. So if the debenture is a good one from a good firm which has a good credit rating agency, which has a good credit rating, then automatically it becomes more and more attractive to the investor. So what have we done so far? We have done two categories of investments. One is equity. Yes, equity is when we are talking about shareholders or ordinary shareholders or preference shareholders, where when I am an investor, then I am seeing whether the shares will give me a good return, whether I will get a good investment, whether the earnings per share will increase in time for me to reap a capital gain. And at the same time, there is debenture. Debentures, the most common form of debenture is a non-convertible debenture, and it is best used as a fixed income instrument and has a longer term horizon, like 5 to 15 years, as compared to equity, which does not have that long term and horizon, but still it is also a long term instrument for parking of funds. So these two are the most important investment avenues. Apart from that, there is a third one also, bonds. Now let us see what are bonds. Bonds are also long-term instruments or long-term investments of avenues which have a specific amount or rate of interest and a specified maturity date. It is a marketable legal contract that promises to pay its investors a stated rate of interest and to repay the principal amount at maturity date. So, bonds and debentures are sort of a brother sister relationship. Normally, they are used as synonyms. Very thin line of differentiation is there between bonds and debentures. So, what are bonds? Bonds are again long term investment avenues, and they also provide a specified rate of interest, and they are issued for a specified maturity date. For example, it may be a 1 year bond, it may be a 2 year bond, it may be a 3 year bond, but the basic idea is that it is marketable legal contract, which means that if I purchase a bond, I can resell it to anybody else as well if I think that I need to get rid of that particular bond. Investors can at their own end also keep on selling the bank bonds from one person to the other. Now there are various categories of bonds. As you can see, there is a government bond, there are private sector bonds, there are public sector undertaking bonds, there are saving bonds, there are infrastructure bonds. Government bonds are bonds which are issued by the government. That is, all the government departments, the central departments, the RBI, whatever the bonds are issued by government owned enterprises, such as public sector banks, these are all coming under the government bond category. Then private sector bonds are the bonds issued by private companies. PSUs or PSU bonds are those which are issued by public sector undertakings. Saving bonds are the bonds that are issued by RBI or other banks, which is available to normal customers for selling and purchasing. And infrastructure bonds are those which are issued by infrastructural firms. And the idea is to purchase. The idea is to invite investments for infrastructural development. So, what is exactly the categorization of bonds? We will do in further detail in the next class. But for now, the basic idea is that you need to understand that investment opportunities and avenues uh, are those areas or those opportunities which allow an investor to invest his money in different instruments so as to reap maximum benefit.